Hello, how are you? Well, um, September is progressing and the daytime is getting shorter and shorter, which I'm not very fond of. Oh well, nobody can stop the time, so we have to study as well. Today's first idiom is to throw someone a curve. It means to trick or mislead or, well, often embarrass or cheat, usually others. For example, okay, I asked them not to throw us any curves um, because we did not want any surprises at the party because that would be embarrassing, right? The second example sentence, let's say, okay, our meeting was progressing very well until an angry member threw us a curve by demanding that we should make more rules. Some people love making rules, but it's so difficult to keep the rules, and sometimes they are, I would say, unreal or not realistic. I hate people make too many rules. Ugh. Okay, the second idiom for today is to carry on. It means one of them is to continue as before. The second meaning is to engage in or conduct, keep doing things. And the other meaning is to behave in a childish, uncontrolled manners. Behave very badly or very selfishly, not considering others, right? Do you know those people, right? For example, okay, even in the face of certain disasters like big earthquakes or wildfires, um, well, people carried on as though nothing had happened. Often people have to do that in order to continue to live, which is not easy sometimes. Okay, let's see. Maria and Tony, in the story called The West Side Story, the movies or musical. Well, those two people carried on a secret love affair in the story, which is based on, I think, Shakespeare's famous play called Romeo and Juliet. Do you know that? Okay, the last sentence for this is when her husband died, okay, Minnie cried and carried on so much that her friends became very concerned about her health. Sometimes it happens. Well, have you seen recently in the Olympic Games this past summer, one of the expected gold medalists which she didn't in her individual judo competition. And, I think she lost the very early stages of her tournaments. And, she just carried on crying just like a little baby for like 15 minutes. That was kind of like a shocking or surprising that I think many people must have been shocked to see she's carrying on like that. Have you seen them? Okay, today's words. The first one is, okay, disaster. That's an event that causes much suffering, or it says also loss or a great serious misfortune. For example, the flood brought disaster to the local towns. Or, let's say, the earthquakes and the floods, or almost usual disasters in Japan today. So also in the United States, big tornadoes are usual disasters in the middle of the United States. And wildfire is a big disaster in Australia, also in Canada recently. Okay, now the third one, let's say, the coaches of the team concerned, the captain's absent in the Olympic Games, a disaster for the team. Especially, do you remember the Japanese women's gymnastic team? Instead of 5 members, because one couldn't participate in the Olympic Games, so the younger teenagers, those 4 girls, have to do that. Okay. Next word is censor. It means, okay, a person who tells others how they ought to behave, or one who change, well, not once, or anybody who changes books, plays, and other works so as to make them acceptable to the government, or to make change in something. For example, okay, during the last World War, it means World War the Second or the World War II, many school textbooks in Japan were censored. That means some parts had to be changed or erased so that the children cannot learn something which were traditionally written in their textbooks. Or, okay, some books, magazines, commercials, and ads, especially today in Japan, are, I would say, highly censorable today, don't you think? Okay, now the last word for today is culprit. It means offender. A person guilty of a fault or, well, crime. for example, okay, I would say when I came home and I found there weren't any chocolate left in the refrigerator, which I was looking forward to, but they're gone. So I would say, oh, who is the culprit who has eaten all my chocolate? Huh? Something like that. Or let's say, the early Star Wars movies in I think it was the 80s. I don't know. My parents are really crazy about those movies. The first movies of Star Wars, the old, today they're called, the first one is called Episode 4. But that time then, it was just a Star Wars, the original first one or something like that. And there was a main character called Skywalker, Luke Skywalker. And in that movie, the culprit who whom that Luke was fighting against turned out to be his father. Oh my goodness. His name was Vader or something like that. I don't remember. Okay. The next one is, let's say, the detective caught the culprit who stole the fruits from the field. Okay, something like that. Well, take care of yourself, and if you like the autumn, enjoy it. Take care. Ciao.